What is up, everybody? What is up? How is it going? How is it going? How is it going? One sec. Having a little bit of a. There we go. What is up, everybody? How is it going? Welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you had a good weekend too. It is Monday. Hope all the dads and fathers and father figures out there had a good Father's Day. I sure as hell did. But yeah, we're going to be jumping into this here in just a sec. We're going to be talking about the Stalemate Effect. And I've mentioned this before in the past, but I haven't really gone dug deep on it and explained why. If you started a weight loss journey, if you just started your weight loss journey, you just started your fitness journey, and you're trying to lose weight, but you started working out too at the same time. You started strength training, or maybe some other form of training that involves, weightlifting. So, essentially strength training, but maybe under a different name or kind of like subcategory of it. You've probably noticed this. You've probably had this happen to you, and so and maybe it even caused you to quit or fall off because you were frustrated because the scale wasn't moving. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to kind of dive a little bit deeper into that, and why it's a good thing, why body recomp is, if it's in the direction you want it to go, and is almost never a bad thing. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the stalemate effect of strength training during a weight loss journey, and I think it's going to be pretty helpful for you guys because you might have experienced this yourself, and I want to go live about this and talk about this topic because I think it's an important thing to learn more about. So yeah, we're going to jump into this here in just a second. I'm going to start recording here, and as you're tuning in, feel free to give the video a like, say hi, drop a comment. Love hearing from people, and if you're watching this at a later time, hashtag replay so I know that you saw it. I appreciate it, and we're going to get this thing kicked off here in 3, 2, 1. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Fit Parent Project. Happy belated Father's Day to all the dads and dad figures out there. I had a damn good weekend, spent some time with friends, with family, had some good food, just spent time with quality people that I appreciate. And so, I hope you had the same luxury as I did and had the same experience and enjoyed your weekend with maybe your family. And if nobody said Happy Father's Day to you and your dad out there or dad figure, this is me going ahead and saying, Happy Father's Day to you. And yeah, let's just jump into this. So today we're going to be talking about a really important concept, and I've mentioned this before in the past on previous episodes, and I've touched on this here and there. But it's this whole idea behind. It's kind of like what I like to call the stalemate effect. And what happens is that you may have experienced this yourself. You may have, started a weight loss journey or a fat loss journey, and you were like, I know that working out is good for me, and I know I've seen other people talk about working out, exercising, and so I started strength training while I was trying to lose weight, and because of that, I've really enjoyed it, and I'm getting stronger, but the scale isn't moving, or not moving nearly as quickly as I thought it was going to, right? Even if you have the correct expectation and realistic expectation of sustainable fat loss being anywhere from 0.5 pound to 2 pounds lost per week, right? Even if you've got that in your mind, you might not be seeing that happen, right? Even though you're in theory, in a calorie deficit, you think you're in a calorie deficit, which you very well could be, or at least maintenance calories, right? Trying to figure out a baseline for where your metabolism's at right now, at the beginning of your journey. But then you're also strength training, right? And so you're like, what the heck is going on here? I feel like I should be losing weight. I feel like I should be losing weight faster than what I am right now, based on my calories. But, I'm also strength training. And so right now, things aren't moving in the direction that I was, hoping them to. And then you might get frustrated, right? You might be like, man, this sucks. This isn't working. So maybe I need to drop my calories more, or, you just get frustrated, right? Because the scale's not moving. And this idea of this, quote unquote, stalemate effect that oftentimes happens is it can last for, a good, month or two. Right? It can be a month and a half. I've seen it happen with my own clients where, things are kind of going steady. Their body's kind of readjusting to their new caloric intake, their strength training. And they're they're feeling better. They have more energy. They're, losing inches. There's a lot of non-scale victories going on, but that scale, the number on the scale just is not really budging, right? Or maybe it's only moving just a little bit, right? Maybe they've only lost a couple pounds in the first like month or month and a half, right? And a lot of times why this happens is what I just kind of talked about, the stalemate effect. And I'm here to tell you guys about why that's a good thing, why it's a good thing, why you actually are, in a better place because of it, and why you should be happy that that's happening. Because, at the end of the day, the scale is just a number, right? It can be an indicator, right? It is one factor that you can use to measure progress. But, like I said, things like having more energy, feeling stronger, looking and feeling better, like, based on your goals, like those things are vastly more important. And that's kind of where the stalemate effect comes into. And so what is the stalemate effect? And so I kind of like alluded to it a little bit, but you start out on a strength training journey or a weight loss journey, right? You're adding in your workouts, your strength training, you're going to the gym several times a week. You've got a good solid strength training plan in place, which, if you don't know what that looks like, I encourage you to watch the other episode, on that and what that, an effective strength training plan looks like for you, because I break it all down in another episode, that I've done. And so you're doing that, right? You're working out, you're eating right, you're following your plan or, what your, good general guidelines to, see some weight loss, but it's not happening, right? And the reason why it's not happening is because oftentimes what this stalemate effect is that you're losing weight, right? Or you're losing fat, right? Which is in a sense driving, the scale in more of a downward direction or a downward trend. But then, because of that, you're also strength training, so you're building muscle, you're recomping your body in kind of like an upward trajectory, an upward direction, because you're going to be getting a lot of newbie gains because you probably haven't, strength trained in the past, or it's been a while since you've done it if you're just starting out on your fitness journey again. And so there's kind of these like opposing forces kind of happening at the beginning of your journey where you're looking and you're feeling better, like you've got more like definition, you're building muscle, like you just feel great overall, but that freaking number on the scale just is not moving. And so that's kind of what that is. And so now that you kind of know what the stalemate effect is and that it's a normal part of the process for a lot of people's journeys, I'm going to tell you guys about why it's not that bad of a thing to not be losing a ton of weight at the beginning if you're doing this, right? If you're not strength training at all and you're just like, in a calorie deficit, you're just going for numbers, you're just trying to lose weight all willy-nilly, and you don't care about maintaining muscle long term, and you're just like, I don't care, I just want the number to go down. Maybe I'm not the best person. Maybe this podcast isn't for you. Maybe my methodologies aren't for you. And I encourage you to kind of like, maybe gravitate towards more what I'm saying here that you should do, just because you're gonna have a much better time in the long run, right? You're gonna have a healthier metabolism, a healthier body composition in the long run, and you're not gonna be kind of like shooting yourself in the foot later down the road because you're giving up a lot of muscle, which is not a good thing. You want to keep as much of that as possible for maintaining a healthy metabolism, maintaining a healthy body, also just making sure that your like a lot of times when people do that, they run into the issue of they lost a lot of muscle, they also lost a lot of weight in general and body fat, and then they get to their goal and they've got they don't have the aesthetic that they necessarily wanted to have because they lost a lot of muscle unnecessarily in the process because they weren't they wanted it now, they just only cared about the numbers, not necessarily their body composition during that process. And so you want to that's why you want to take this into consideration. That's why you want to go for fat loss. That's kind of the difference there between fat loss and just straight up weight loss. Prioritizing that fat loss and maintaining that muscle is important. And so but kind of just what I kind of talked about, I guess I just kind of explained it. Like that's why you want to go about it this way. That's why you want to strength train while you're, losing weight, while you're on a weight loss journey, is because your body composition benefits from it so much that if you can just get over and drop the ego or get over like the impatience, side of things when it comes to your scale not moving, and if you can just trust the process, what often happens is that, that first month goes by, you maybe only lost a pound or two, and you're just like, ah, man, which still in and of itself is pretty damn good, and you should still be proud of yourself for that. But then what happens is if they can just like hold on a little bit longer and press through that first month or two, right? Whenever like the newbie gains are like really coming in, you're really, recomping your body pretty rapidly. Most people, for the first at least like 3 to 6 months, like your body's like recomping pretty significantly just from introducing the stimuli of strength training to your body. Your body's adapting. It adapts pretty quickly. So if you can just get through that, right? If you can just get over the fact of like, I'm not losing weight quickly, right? The scale is like dictating my mind right now. If you can get through that bullshit, right? If you can get through that and just focus on the fact that you're losing inches, you're feeling better, you're feeling stronger. Yeah, the scale's not moving as quickly as you want it to, but I'm seeing all these other amazing benefits right now, and I'm feeling better than I ever have. If you can focus on all those good things that you got going on, and not the one thing that really doesn't matter that much, anyways. In the grand scheme of things, right? If you can just focus on that and break through. What oftentimes happens is that, like, and I've seen it plenty of times with my clients, like they'll go for that first month or maybe even 2 months, and it's like, okay, things aren't moving as quickly, but they've got all those other good things going on that I just talked about. And then all of a sudden, the newbie gains kind of slow down a little bit. They taper off a little bit because you can't just, what's the word that I'm looking for? Exponentially, like just build muscle. You just can't do that. This is not how it works. You kind of reach this like cap where, that stalemate effect stops happening, right? The fat loss kind of starts to win out against the muscle gain from the newbie gains. And then you do start to see that downward trajectory much faster. And it starts to happen a lot faster than it otherwise would have if you just would have said fuck it and got rid of all of your muscle and didn't really care about that in the first place, because now you've got a lot of muscle that you're working with, which is better for your metabolism, it's better for your overall health, you're going to be stronger, you're going to be feeling better, and all of these things add up and benefit you in your weight loss journey later down the road, right? And so if you can value the long term, which, if you can, really just focus in and hone in on that, like the long game side of things. Of I am not seeing the immediate results that I want on the scale, but I'm seeing all these other immediate results in other parts of my journey that I'm loving. And if you can focus on those and get through it and get over yourself basically, and drop the need for that scale to move down for that first month or two, you're going to be seeing it move a lot more quickly later down the road, because now you've recomped your body to be at a healthy place. You got your metabolism in a really healthy place because you're not focusing on just like, trying to burn through or trying to drop your calories as quickly as possible. You're really, honing in on doing this for like, the lifestyle and the healthy reasons and not just to try and like see, that number change on the scale. And so if you can do that, right, if you can stick with it, if you can focus on that and you can get over that and you can really try to, keep your mindset in a good place about that, and knowing that ahead of time. This is why I'm telling you guys about this right now. If you know that that's going to happen, and you know that that's an expectation from strength training while also being on a weight loss journey at the beginning, then you're going to be way less likely to get like all like in your head about it and fall off and shit talk yourself and things like that. But at the end of the day, if you can keep your mindset in a positive place throughout this process, you're going to be way more likely to be able to like, do this for the long term and make this into a lifestyle. And so anytime you see that happening, like you just got to remind yourself, especially if you're a newbie, if you're at the beginning or if you haven't strength trained in a while and you're starting back up, like you just remind yourself like, oh, like the scale's not moving, but like my body is changing in a positive way that I want it to, and it's going to pay off eventually. And so, yeah. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope this is a reminder. But that's kind of what the stalemate effect is. That I like to kind of call it that, just because it's kind of like, the two good things that are going on are button heads right now, right? That are kind of having this like trajectory of a downward trend and an upward trend. They're both for good reasons that are happening. And so if you can just get over it and you can work through that in your mindset, you're going to have a much better time. So on that note, that's all I have for you today. I hope that this was valuable. And before I hop off here, feel free to, just a shameless plug to, rate the podcast, leave a review if you've got value from this so far. I really appreciate it. It really does help out a lot. And yeah, I love doing this. This has been like such a like a rejuvenating or like, kind of like reignited like my passion in a lot of ways for going live and doing these lives and doing these, talking about these subjects. But it's just because it's like, oh, like it's not just going to be on a a video that pops up in a Facebook news feed or a social media platform news feed for like 24 hours, and then it's gone forever. But it's actually like on here for good, and it's something that people can binge listen to if they want and get a lot of value in a short period of time. And so so if you are getting value from it and you like what I have to say and you've been listening, then just shameless plug. Feel free to give it a rating and a like if that's or a subscription if that's a thing. I'm still getting new to the whole podcasting side of things, but it really does help a lot from what I've been told. So other than that, hope you have a good weekend, or hope you had a good weekend. Hope you're ready to kick ass this week, because I sure as hell am. And other than that, have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. What's up, Facebook? What's up, TikTok? How's it going? Yeah, what's up, Cheryl? How's it going? What's up, Anne-Marie? Thank you for the reminder. Yes, absolutely. Hey, like, we all need, like, that's why, that's another thing that I had this realization was, like, you can provide the same information but with a different, like, story or a different way of presenting it, and it may hit differently, or it may hit differently just because somebody's in a different place in their life than they were the last time they listened to something like that, or had that same kind of info. And oftentimes we need to hear something like 5 fucking times for it to actually stick. And then sometimes it still doesn't, and then we need to hear it a 6th time, and that's okay. And that's part of the process of learning. That's, why, oftentimes, when people study something in college, like, they take notes on it and then they write it down and then they review flashcards and stuff, because it doesn't stick the first time, and that's okay. Like, it's not supposed to stick the first time. It's that persistence to continue to try and learn about it and absorb that information that I think really truly makes it stick for the long term. And it never hurts to have a refresher on things anyways. So other than that, I think I'm going to hop off here. I got a meeting here in 3 minutes, and I have another meeting after that in 60 minutes, and it's just a day full of fun stuff. So other than that, have a good rest of your day, guys. And if you got value, feel free to, like I said, I would appreciate, any reviews, good or bad, for the podcast. Feel free to subscribe. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. So and if you had any takeaways, feel free to post them in the comments, of this live. And I hope that you guys got value, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.